In the world of professional sports, the spotlight often shines brightest on moments of victory, record-breaking performances, and the inspiring journeys of athletes who overcome the odds. But sometimes, the headlines take a darker turn, focusing not on the glory of the game, but on the personal struggles and unexpected downfalls of those we once cheered for. These stories remind us that even our heroes are human, vulnerable to the same pressures and mistakes as anyone else. Tonight, we turn our attention to one such story. A story not of triumph, but of turmoil. This is the story of Mark Sanchez, a name once synonymous with promise and potential on the football field. Sanchez, who rose to fame as a talented quarterback, has since transitioned into a respected sports analyst, offering insights and commentary on the very game that made him a household name. But now, Sanchez finds himself at the center of a very different kind of attention. Instead of being celebrated for his on-field achievements, he's making headlines for a violent incident that unfolded late one night in downtown Indianapolis. The city, known for its passionate sports fans and vibrant nightlife, became the backdrop for a shocking altercation that has left many questioning what really happened. According to reports, what began as a seemingly minor dispute over a parked truck quickly escalated out of control. Words were exchanged, tempers flared, and before anyone could intervene, the situation spiraled into a physical confrontation. When the dust settled, 2 men were left injured, and Mark Sanchez was facing serious criminal charges. The incident has sent shockwaves through the sports community and beyond, raising difficult questions about accountability, personal responsibility, and the pressures faced by public figures. As news of the altercation spread, the public's curiosity grew. Fans, critics, and casual observers alike are all asking the same thing. What really happened that night? Was this a momentary lapse in judgment, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? The incident has sparked heated debates on social media and in sports circles, with many expressing shock and disappointment, while others urge patience and a fair investigation. In this chapter, we'll break down the sequence of events as they unfolded, examine the immediate aftermath, and explore the potential consequences for Sanchez's career and reputation. We'll hear from eyewitnesses, legal experts, and those close to the situation, piecing together the facts to provide a clearer picture of what transpired. We'll also consider how incidents like this can impact not just the individuals involved, but the broader world of professional sports. This story serves as a stark reminder of how quickly life can change, and how even those who seem to have it all can find themselves facing unexpected challenges. It's a cautionary tale about the importance of choices, the weight of public scrutiny, and the unpredictable nature of life in the spotlight. So, let's take a closer look at the facts, separate rumor from reality, and try to understand what really happened on that shocking night in Indianapolis. To understand the impact of this incident, you need to know Mark Sanchez's journey. He rose to fame as the New York Jets quarterback, leading them to 2 AFC championship games and becoming a household name. After his NFL career, Sanchez transitioned to sports broadcasting, quickly earning respect as a Fox Sports analyst. His charisma and insight made him a valued member of the team. That's why the news from Indianapolis is so shocking. The trouble began in a quiet, dimly lit alley in downtown Indianapolis, just after midnight, around 12:30 a.m. The city's nightlife had faded, leaving the streets mostly empty, and the only sounds were the distant hum of traffic and the occasional echo of footsteps. In this deserted stretch, shadows clung to the brick walls, and the air was thick with the kind of tension that only seems to settle in the dead of night. According to police reports, a man named Sanchez, who was reportedly intoxicated, was seen behaving erratically near a hotel's loading dock. Security cameras captured him stumbling and gesturing wildly, his movements unpredictable and his demeanor agitated. Witnesses later described him as loud and confrontational, drawing attention even in the stillness of the late hour. The conflict began over something seemingly trivial, a parked truck blocking part of the alley. Sanchez, frustrated and emboldened by alcohol, confronted the truck's driver, a 69-year-old man who was simply trying to finish his shift and head home. The 2 men exchanged words, their voices echoing off the alley walls, the tension between them quickly escalating. Instead of backing down or walking away, Sanchez took things a step further. He approached the truck, yanked open the driver's door, and began shouting at the man inside. The argument grew louder, drawing the attention of anyone nearby. The driver, startled and unsure of what Sanchez might do next, tried to reason with him, but Sanchez was relentless. This act, forcefully opening the truck door and entering the vehicle without permission, was more than just aggressive behavior. It was a clear violation of the law, and would later become one of the charges filed against Sanchez. Police would note in their report that this was an unlawful entry, a serious offense that escalated the situation from a simple argument to a criminal act. The truck driver, a man nearing 70, was caught off guard. He had likely seen his share of difficult nights on the job, but nothing quite like this. Suddenly, he found himself face to face with a much younger, visibly angry man, whose physical presence and erratic behavior made the situation feel even more threatening. Several bystanders, drawn by the commotion, watched from a distance. They later told police that the argument was heated from the very beginning, with both men shouting and gesturing aggressively. Some witnesses considered intervening, but the intensity of the confrontation made them hesitate, unsure of how dangerous things might become. The power dynamic in the alley was unmistakable: a private citizen, older and likely exhausted, facing off against a former professional athlete, younger, stronger, and fueled by alcohol. The difference in age and physicality only heightened the sense of imbalance, making the encounter all the more volatile. Alcohol and aggression are a dangerous mix, and in this case, they quickly transformed what could have been a minor dispute into a potentially life-threatening situation. The argument, fueled by Sanchez's intoxication, spiraled out of control, with tempers flaring and the threat of violence hanging in the air. In the darkness of that Indianapolis alley, with emotions running high and no one willing to back down, the stage was set for violence, a confrontation that would have consequences far beyond that single night. The argument escalated fast. According to the driver, Sanchez grabbed him and body slammed him, then threw him against a wall and onto the pavement. The 69-year-old was overpowered and injured, suffering a deep cut to his face. This violent outburst led to the most serious charge: battery with injury. The police report paints a clear picture. This was not a fair fight. Alcohol and poor judgment turned a disagreement into a brutal assault. The prosecutor later emphasized, a simple dispute should never end in violence. This is why Sanchez now faces criminal charges. Fearing for his life, the truck driver tried to defend himself. He first used pepper spray, but Sanchez kept coming. Desperate, the driver pulled a knife and stabbed Sanchez 2 or 3 times. Authorities view this as self-defense, not aggression. After being stabbed, Sanchez fled the scene, shocked and bleeding. The driver's actions, using pepper spray first, then a knife, will be key in court. This moment explains how both men ended up seriously injured. The legal system will weigh these actions carefully. The terror in that alley was real. Both men needed immediate medical attention. The driver suffered a severe facial laceration, requiring hospitalization. Sanchez was stabbed in the torso and chest, fleeing to a nearby pub before being found by police. He was hospitalized in critical, then stable, condition. Sanchez claimed little memory of the event, possibly due to intoxication. Police evidence, including surveillance footage, contradicted his account. After treatment, Sanchez was arrested and formally charged. The incident quickly became national news. In the aftermath of the incident, Sanchez now faces 3 separate misdemeanor charges: battery with injury, public intoxication, and unlawful entry of a motor vehicle. These charges were filed after a thorough investigation by local law enforcement, who reviewed witness statements, security footage, and physical evidence collected at the scene. The battery with injury charge is considered the most serious, as it involves direct physical harm to the truck driver during the confrontation. According to police reports, the driver sustained visible injuries, which were later documented by medical personnel. This charge alone could carry significant legal penalties if Sanchez is convicted. The public intoxication charge stems from multiple accounts by both witnesses and responding officers, who described Sanchez as visibly impaired, unsteady on his feet, and slurring his speech at the time of the incident. Officers noted the strong odor of alcohol and erratic behavior, which contributed to their decision to detain him for further questioning. Unlawful entry of a motor vehicle refers to Sanchez opening the truck door without the driver's permission, a violation that is taken seriously under state law, especially when it leads to a confrontation or potential harm. Each of these charges represents a different aspect of the events that unfolded that night, painting a picture of a situation that quickly escalated out of control. Sanchez's initial court hearing is scheduled for October 7th, where he will have the opportunity to enter a plea and hear the evidence against him. His bond has been set at $300, allowing for his release while awaiting trial. Prosecutors have emphasized that this incident should never have happened, and they are committed to pursuing justice based on the facts and the law. The outcome of this case could have lasting consequences for Sanchez, as even misdemeanor convictions can impact employment, housing, and future opportunities. As the legal process moves forward, all eyes will be on the courtroom to see how the case unfolds and what accountability will ultimately look like. The fallout extends beyond the courtroom. Fox Sports immediately removed Sanchez from his broadcast assignment after the incident. He was replaced for the Raiders-Colts game, and the network issued a brief statement confirming his hospitalization. Sanchez's future at Fox is now uncertain, pending the outcome of his legal case. Morality clauses in broadcasting contracts could end his career if he's convicted. For now, his once promising second act is on hold. The impact on his reputation and livelihood is profound. As of October 5th, the story is still unfolding. Sanchez is recovering in the hospital. The truck driver is healing as well. The legal process is just beginning, with a court hearing set for October 7th. The outcome will depend on evidence, including the driver's self-defense claim and Sanchez's actions. This case is a cautionary tale, a minor dispute, fueled by alcohol, led to violence and upended lives. The coming weeks will determine Sanchez's fate, both legally and professionally. For now, all eyes are on the courtroom.